Hello and welcome back to episode 22 of our 4th Age Total War Dwarves campaign. We are doing a very similar battle to the one we saw in the last episode, at least in terms of the ground. You'll notice this is exactly the same position, of course, that we were in, but now we have a much smaller army to contend with. I counted in the pre-battle screen about 3 units of cav, 3 or maybe 4, but one of them is down to like 1 or 2 riders. And then the rest are just a mix of the middling type of Dunlending units you would expect to see. So this should be a lot less threatening. Of course, my army is less threatening than it was a turn ago as well. So we still have some blunderbuss units. We've still got a substantial body of dwarven bows. And we still have, our melee troops. And this time we will have a greater odds of getting them into melee. As you can see, the enemy has more infantry types, axemen, spearmen, some more wolf hunters, even some pikes this time. So we will be seeing some melee without having to chase them all over creation. So that'll be good. And I think we're going to have to run down the hill so that they don't just throw at my blunderbusses. Very good. It would be great if the cav would just throw itself in here, and then we wouldn't have to worry about chasing them down or shooting them down. But we have very little control over that. Last time my Warhammers got into trouble because they went too far down the hill, so we'll keep that in mind. These jerk tribal spearmen throwing right into the backs. Alright, I'm going to try guard mode here. Now this is something... Oh, and the unit's routing. Okay, well... this is something that Saul Tyre recommended in a previous episode where he watched my long axes get destroyed. He suggested one of the things that I could do is put them into guard mode, which would prevent them from tiring out quickly. As you can see, they're already winded, but now I guess the idea is they're going to fight better. They're going to stay in formation, perhaps, and they're going to expend less stamina. So we'll see how that works. We do have some up here who didn't get thrown in. Well, that's good. They can be guarding the ranged units. Because I'm sure the cav, as we can see, is going to want to drive right up there. You can see they're trying. Alright, my general's now fighting uphill against these pikes, but I'm not too worried about it. Alright, I don't think all you guys just stop skirmishing. You trust me. Have I ever let you guys down? Not doing great in terms of numbers here. In terms of kills, I mean, with the blunderbusses. But we are getting some. Alright, it looks like they're giving up. Great, so I'm not gonna worry about this too much. So the good thing about this is they will withdraw. but they won't withdraw into the settlement. So, because I've got it under siege. So they were not able to punch through my blockade effectively. And after this fight, we may be in a position to take and hopefully hold this important settlement for us. So Dunchrioch is not a chief city, but it should have a very high population, which is great, because it's going to take us a while to get our homeland dominion buildings and you know, everything else in place before we can even recruit anything, and all the while the population is going to be plummeting. But with a very high population rate to begin with, we probably will not get down to 0 population before we can start to train. That's also going to mean the income is going to continue to be high for that settlement, it's going to mean that the income tax is going to be higher, because that's dependent upon population. So those are some good things about it. I mean, we'll see. We may get attacked again here. And oh my gosh. Okay, Lieutenant Weoka. Alright, 2 units of cav now. 1 Wolf Hunter's unit. Oh, 3 with the general. And more of the same. So they're throwing everything at me here. They are really correctly thinking that this is the beginning of the end for them. If they can't hold me off here, then they've really got nowhere else to go, because I've got the fort. If I take Dunchrioch here, they won't even be able to get to Dol Baran. I mean, the AI could, but it's very unlikely that they would, because they would have to go through the Dunchrioch region first to get to the fort. Oh, and this is a bit of a different arrangement, because they're attacking from over here, so they're getting the high ground. Oh, that stinks. Alright. Well, we can do our best. We'll set up over here, but we are going to be hard put to it, I think. Okay, so Dwarven bows. Again, we're going to keep them right over here. And we're just going to put our line out like we normally do. And I think we'll use that rock formation as our anchor. And they are going to be marching along the hill. It's like they don't know where I am. Maybe I should set up right here then. Well, let's see. If they get all the way down into the valley and then start coming up, which it looks like they're going to, it might be worth it. Yeah, let's do it. It's like they couldn't see me. So, again, this is interesting battlefield AI behavior. I don't think they could see over the hill, so to speak. I think to some extent the AI's vision, if you will, is restricted more or less to what you would expect the units on the field could actually see. And so that means if you're over the crest of a hill from them, they don't necessarily know that until they get a unit around and can see you. Alright, you gonna charge me? Because that would be awesome. Nope. Okay, well, let's get my general stuck in. Yeah, they're really destroying my my frontline ranged units, but very little I can do about it. There's the wolf hunters looking for position. Alright, guys. It doesn't look like anyone's circling around my right. takes a little longer than you think to put down these Dunlending units, and I'm not sure why. I mean, they don't have much at all for armor, so I think it's just the size of the unit, the numbers in the unit. I don't know what these cav are doing. Looks like the spearmen are either withdrawing or repositioning. Just send these guys after those spearmen, and I think I actually want to bring all of these guys kind of along with them. Alright, so we're going to run right into these skirmishers. They're utterly tired, so that's going to go well for us. Over here we did manage to catch some skirmishers, and some cavalry decided they want to engage in the back, so great. We're happy to have that engagement. Looks like the general, or the captain, is withdrawing completely. Very good. So these guys are going to rout, those guys are going to just leave the field. Alright, and we should be just about at the end. Very good. Well, let's just end the battle here. We lost about 36. The only question is, do they have more? Alright, they don't. Okay. So, Dunchrioch. Now, again, capturing foreign settlements, mannish settlements, as the Dwarves, you really don't want to use this button, the Expel Populace button. This is the Enslave option in Vanilla. We renamed it to be a bit more lore-friendly. But this functions exactly the same. The idea is you're basically forcing people into exile or relocating them against their will to toil in your salt mines, basically. Of course, given that there's a strong distinction in the mod between Dwarven and Mannish population, that this is a very cheap, cheesy way to get a lot of population in your Dwarven settlements, which grow very slowly. So for that reason, you don't want to do this if you want to keep lore-friendly. Lay Desolate, though, you could argue that's a perfectly Dwarvish response. I mean, they're very, very unforgiving, those Dwarves, right? So that's what I'm tempted to do here, just so that I don't lose the settlement. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the High Pass Stronghold. This is a fight with the Beornings. Oh man. Alright, this is heavily in their favor. I am very much outnumbered here. So we've got one family member, Galm of the Eastern Greenwood. Not looking too threatening, although this unit is a problem for me. Because of the fear effect, because of the armor piercing. It's one of these Beorning Guard units. Have we fought the Beornings in this campaign? I almost don't think so. And this unit, there's only 7 men in it, but this is also a potentially damaging unit against my Dwarves. So that's not looking too bad, but what is this? These units are potentially a problem, just because they have a tendency, the Woodman Riders, they're not armor piercing. But they do have a powerful charge, and they can be just really surprisingly effective, especially when there's a lot of them. So those swarm tactics can really hurt us. They've also got some archers, and they've got, you know, 1 unit of the Beorning Axemen. So, do I want to fight this? Or retreat? Well, this is my ruler, Gin of Ravenhill. He's got 6 units of blunderbusses, granted, under strength. He's got some Dwarven Axe Throwers. He's got Dwarves of the Iron Hills. He's got some mercenaries. I think we're going to risk it. We're going to risk it, and we may get some good terrain. We may get some terrible terrain, considering we're basically right at the top of the high pass. But if the terrain is good, then we may do very well here. I don't remember if this is the last turn of the siege or not. But I'm not too worried about it. And to be honest, I'm kind of surprised they could attack me from there. I thought they wouldn't be able to get around the fort. But that's fine. Okay, so they're coming from up here. And the fort itself is going to be over there somewhere, slightly to the northeast. So the best thing to do is to set up right about here. Just see if I can get a sense of where the fort is, and I don't think I can. It's probably over those hills. Okay, but this is about where we're going to be. What does this formation look like? Okay, so this is not ideal. We want to have our infantry line. We want to have the blunderbusses kind of on either side of it. The bowmen can be a little back. Right, okay, here's my other unit. 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's my 6th blunderbuss? Okay, there we go. Something like that, and this, so they'll be flanking. Alright. Yeah, we'll do this, and great, they're right here.
The enemy have brought more weaklings to reinforce their line.
Alright, so this is the all-woodmen riders army. It's not all that, but it's like 40% of it. And the captain is a unit of woodmen riders also. So again, if we can manage to take him out somehow, that would be nice, but I don't think we have the ranged capability or the long-range capability to do that. Got a big force of riders coming from our left and another couple of riders coming from our right. So my archers have used all their arrows. That means I have very little in the way of ranged power right now. It's all short-range stuff. See them circling around my right. All right, let's relocate. Beorning Guard. This is the unit that I'm most worried about over here. Alright, good. One unit of riders gone. I'm worried about these guys on the right. And I will bet they are going to wait for this army to circle around completely before they charge. Going to be melee. Yeah, that'll make them rout. Okay, here come. Alright, so the Beorning Axemen are not in yet, but some riders are. Too worried about them, so let's throw my general down here. There's a rider. Riders are badly outnumbered. And there is the Beorning Guard. There go my riders. But we rout this unit, then we've secured our left. Let's look at the size difference here. Alright, these guys are utterly tired. And they are now losing heavily, so that would be great if we could just finish them. Alright, just throw them in. The Woodman Riders are charging. I think my Axemen can handle that. Gonna get my general up to the right flank. Looks like one of my Eriador mercenary bowmen got the lucky knife blow in on their general. These guys are routing. Alright, but meanwhile... Alright, and there goes the other enemy general. Oh, they're pushing in on my left again. It's really up to my Durin's Guard unit here to bring this to a conclusion. Guys are skirmishing away, but they're not really going to be able to run from the Woodman Axes, so may as well fight them here, given the differential in our fatigue and the fact that we're getting gradually just further away from their support. Alright, I think we got to keep up the pressure. I don't think we want to sit back and let them reform. These are winning easily. Great, so one army is just completely routing. I think this might be the only unit that is not, so let's bring this blunderbuss unit down here to put some pressure on them. And then I think that'll be it. There we go. You know, let's just end the battle here because it would just be a long exercise in tedium and we're not going to catch them all or even close. So we did kill both of the commanders, but I don't think we killed enough of them to secure the fort.
Victory!
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, hey. A suitable husband, expert governor, expert commander, youthful. Long beard of the House of Narvi. He is energetic and intelligent. That's great. Somewhat learned. That's good. Alright, we will absolutely take him. He is in Hollowbold, which is way over in the west. Alright. So we've got a lot of family members over here. We'll just retrain him for the armor upgrade. And we do have enough population here to start thinking about, you know, training some more guys for the Dunlend War. It might be a good idea to get another group in, especially since now we have military access from Tharbad. Alright. Well, feels like we've been doing nothing but battles for the past couple of episodes, and this is the first time I've had control of a campaign map since then. But before we wind this down, just take a look at Dunchrioch. So we've got green face, very good. Public order is nice. Who is the governor here? We do have some potentially good governors, so we may have to shuffle that stuff around. We can train a scout and a rogue immediately, so I'm going to get a scout going. We'll probably get a rogue next turn. We are going to be draining the population. It's going to take us a little while to build up to avoid that. But for now, we can destroy some things. Mustering fields can go. The Trials of Blood can go. Hunting parties also do nothing for us. This is a good building, Advanced Tanneries and Woolmakers. It doesn't give us the armor bonus, I believe, but it does help us with taxes, or trade, rather. Execution Square does nothing for us. You can see there's no effects listed. For the barbarian factions, it increases law. And then that's it, apart from the Homeland Dominion, which we will also destroy and get going on our own provincial pacification. It'll be great to have a settlement in Dunlending. Let's just see what we can train there once we get it up to that point. We need to get wayposts. So first off, it's going to be hireling spears, as is typical. Hireling Dunlendings at tier 2, and then guards at tier 3. So nothing spectacular there. But the nice thing is, we have already gotten up to the highest level of development. So the Dunlendings built up to the chief city level for us already, or the major province level already. Hireling Dunlendings as well are a really good unit for us, actually. It gives us a little more ranged ability. Granted, these are short, not long-ranged, but they're a good hybrid unit. No war cry, but they can throw javelins, and I believe they skirmish. I'm not 100% there, and they're decent in melee. I mean, they're no dwarves, but they are good for what they're going to be asked to do. And with that, I think we have successfully defended the outpost of Dolbaran from Dunlend. We got to wait for the population to grow here before we can retrain more, but retrain more we absolutely will once we clear out some of this stuff, which is probably going to be over the result of several battles over this very settlement. But once that happens, we can just open up the supply lines here and get reinforcements coming from the fort, which will be very nice. So this is a good place for us to stop again, I think. So thanks very much for joining me, and I am looking forward to the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.